All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Season 2, episode 23. The storm dragon done stormed in.
True, he did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He either was already done pre-stormed
That's right.
into some kind of a hidden setup there and was being used as like a, hey, get out of jail free card. Or, even cooler, Veldora was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna help.
I'm gonna go over there.
Regardless of whether he teleported in or he snuck his way in.
However it worked, it happened. Yeah, because how do you defeat a dragon with another dragon?
So I chucked this motherfucker onto that motherfucker. You know? I love Veldora suddenly being here. Milim being this very terrifying threat because, she's actually the fucking strong.
Yeah.
You know, cool, you can't win Rimuru in a straight fight, but how have you not, determined that you could just, break the necklace and it's fine?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see where the story's taking it. Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So,
well, that was a decision.
That was certainly a decision.
We now have the understanding as to why everyone was kind of being a bit out of character, it would seem.
Yeah.
Because it's not that she was being controlled or that it was by some necklace or something like that.
Nope.
Clayman is being manipulated. This is all just something of a ruse to get Clayman to basically do nothing.
Right.
Because... So, I mean, if he awakens here, great, but there was no belief that he would really do anything here in Walpurgis other than end up put down basically by all the other demon lords. So if anything, the idea that maybe he was being set up to become a demon lord for the purpose of this Kazalim then being reborn, cool. That's what that's what the kid's wanting.
Yep.
That's his motivation. That's its own thing, separate from this here.
Yep.
But then Milim being not under control, then kind of like, it's something where I can't tell really what the goal was here of the story.
There was a lot of funny things that happened in this episode.
Yes.
Great.
Very
awesome.
entertaining.
Love it. But the thing that they did with Milim was it felt like the creator was saying, hey, wasn't this conflict kind of dumb in the first place? Yeah, so it wasn't that. But they do that only after we've gone through a whole arc of saying, that's the conflict, us doing all of these unfun things to set up these scaffolding so that for this conflict to be resolved. What was the point of those meetings and such? If, like all of these things, right? Even the victories and the W's that the heroes got, no, that's actually just kind of pointless because Milim was just messing around and so none of this had to happen anyways.
Yeah,
but,
even the angle that they could have gone through, which I think they were even actually trying to hint at, was that Milim was trying to figure out who was controlling him. That doesn't seem like something she would really care about.
Well, and even if she wanted to find out, she's stronger than him. She grabs him and she starts to squeeze, right?
Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's very little that makes sense here in terms of going through all this story. This is why plot twists and stuff like that are great, because you can give us that, oh, wow, everything makes sense now because the plot twist doesn't make things more complicated. It actually makes things less complicated by saying, all the things that were idiosyncrasies and odd little choices and stuff there now have a very clear vision for what they're meaning here. And I didn't get that here. If anything, I just kind of traded my confusion in some area and being like, okay, this part's resolved. But now over here, I'm like...
Right, it just passed the buck.
Right, now it's like, well, so why did Milim do it at all?
Yep. And on top of all of that, even if you have a plot twist that makes things make sense, you need the journey up to the plot twist and after the plot twist to be, like, entertaining and satisfying. If you do something like what was done here, it kind of undercuts the entire plot that was there. So even if you did have some, it's kind of a no-win scenario with the way that it was done here, because even, like, if we didn't want it to be Milim being controlled, then great. We were having to put up with something that we didn't buy and that we weren't sold on, that also wasn't even taken seriously at the end, even though we were made to think that we were supposed to take it seriously. And, if it wasn't that she was being controlled, we don't get to see all the stuff of her not being controlled, in the arc, right? It's just... Yeah.
Yep. It was basically the players kind of just sitting there and waiting for the creator of the story to basically just kind of tell them
the story's over, applaud me.
That the story is over, applaud me. Yes, exactly. And that's very disappointing. Yeah. It's something where I have way more interest, really, in the thing that I already didn't have as much interest in, which is Clayman's character, than being an actually serious character here, where it's hey, remember all the Harlequins and stuff, and they were basically his comrades and stuff? Cool. Yeah, they were a little squad and stuff like that, and he got elevated from the midst of them there because he had a desire to be taken seriously amongst them, because he did care about them. Cool, sure.
Nice.
Villainous virtues. I don't care for Clayman at all, but the idea of, oh, wait a minute, if he actually awakens here as a demon lord, oh, wait. Actually, we could get to know him just a little bit more before he gets absolutely rinsed by Rimuru here. But again, that's something that we only really care about because they're giving us that time to, focus on him.
Right.
Milim's basically reasoning for all this is...
I did it for the lulz.
But also I kind of wanted to know what was going on with you, but... Again, we came up with a very simple thing as to how she figures that out.
That also seems like
bonk.
More in line with Milim's character.
Right.
Because
fuck off. I'm just going to bonk you and figure it out, which means that that's not the reason why she's doing this. So
But that's the only reason we're being given, so we just have to accept it.
Right. We could go back and rewatch a couple of the episodes to see if there's something that we missed, but the main thing I think that we've got the reveal of here is more just why Clayman was so easily able to be manipulated. Because he was a weakling. He was someone that was basically just desiring to have the power to be taken in by this group of Harlequins and being taken seriously. Right. So all his motivations make perfect sense because there was never any complexity to it. He just had a
desire.
Well, yeah. What is it called? Complex where he's powerless.
Inferiority
complex. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Sure.
Which also, by the way, if you're going to add elements to make us be more sympathetic to Clayman, why couldn't you have done that earlier on? Maybe.
So that's just a trope of this whole thing. There. I would say they're not trying to make us sympathetic. They're just trying to give us the understanding as to why he did what he did.
But even if we understand why Clayman did what he did, that doesn't give us the explanation for why these other people even chose Clayman. Is it just because he's a convenient person that's here? Because clearly he wasn't actually...
We're not meant to know yet. That's another very easy answer. That's not important right now. It's just that he was easy to manipulate. That's entirely it. It could have been anybody. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, this is all stuff that's being chosen to do to set up other stuff, but the thing that was a payoff, meant to be in this episode, was the twist with Milim. Being that I'm very glad that it's not that all of them just needed to break some kind of necklace on her, which I'm very glad about because that would have been way dumber, in my opinion. This is just the kind of thing where I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So what
why?
What was the point? Yeah. And again, they could, in the next episode, give us here's the Milim focus as to when we've beaten Clayman into... Here's what I really wanted to do here, and it's because of Milim's backstory with the dragon and stuff, and then it's something tied to the fact that there's something else there. Again, that's fine, but as of right now, presentation-wise, they have given us a very narratively unsatisfying reveal.
And then after saying that it's all pointless, right, and that everyone kind of knew that, most everyone knew that it was pointless, and Rimuru was one of the few who didn't, then... Take this person that you're not supposed to take seriously, and we have told you now multiple times that you're not supposed to take them seriously. But wait, now take them seriously for a fight that has no stakes. You know Rimuru's going to win. There's not really any point to him winning. There's not really any point to the fight happening as far as we can tell.
It's just going to truly set up Rimuru as a demon lord, I guess.
But again, if the threat isn't much of a threat, then why does it actually set Rimuru up at all, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we might be just expecting too much of the anime in general. This is an entertaining, very silly episode where a lot of the fight was undercut to basically make the point of that, yes, Clayman is pathetic. Clayman does not have any real place in this story.
Veldora was here for the manga, right? Like,
right. Yeah. And that was entertaining as fuck.
Yeah.
I loved his blatant ripping off of multiple fighting characters' attack moves.
Yes,
the fact that we got an actual Kamehameha in the slime anime is fucking hilarious.
Yep, it's wonderful.
And thus, okay, I am going to, for the most part, unless something dramatically changes in the next episode, I'm going to take this anime way less seriously than y'all are probably going to want me to. And that's okay. Just being upfront about the fact that
I think that's good.
There's a lot of times where this season took itself very seriously in a way that I liked.
Yeah, first half.
This was not one
awesome.
of them. This was not one of them. And it is unfortunate because I don't think the show is being clear which part it wants me to take seriously.
We had 3 episodes of
meetings
meetings and stuff to make it so that we could coordinate what's going to happen here, and then it kind of didn't matter anyways.
Yep. And again, those things are all probably setting up other things, but again, this is what we're getting right now.
Yep.
And I do like the fact that Milim is back in the story. I did not like, in general, the idea of the most powerful being just being casually controlled.
Right.
And I don't mind the idea that it would happen, but in and of itself, the storyline is not that interesting because we don't have anybody right now that's emotionally connected to Milim. That's one of the things that why brainwash or mind control type storylines are generally used. It is because you want to see the friends of that character emotionally distraught seeing their friend being controlled like that.
And needing to fight them or whatever.
Right. But because Milim has no, true loving friends, they're we're, hey, we're
sort of buds.
Yeah, we're buddy, kind of, but not actual friends. So therefore, the thing that was most exciting was the threat of Milim being actually able to do some shit that we wouldn't expect her to do.
Right.
And so again, the element that could have been used for was undercut entirely here.
Yep.
For the sake of it being a twist.
Right.
And maybe I'm also just burnt out on cheap twists in general, because I think that I'd say for the most part, there was a time when I liked twists for the sake of twists.
Sure, that's a great thing to bring up.
I have changed a lot in that regard because of maybe just how Hollywood recently has loved to subvert expectations,
right,
with very little logic behind it. This is the most recent example of that I've seen in anime, and for a while now, actually, where I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and the thing is, even the deal of Milim destroying the thing because she's essentially playing a game of her own.
Yeah.
That I think
that's not too bad.
That's not too bad. I think that's fine. Like in her excuse of just I was hoping you'd forget about that part, right? Okay, sure. If I hadn't been made to want to be invested in this, in what has happened, then I would be a lot more accepting of that. It's Milim does a crazy thing and it adds to the antics because in this world of magic and craziness and demon lords, yes, a demon lord just, decides to mess around and it almost just destroys a whole civilization. It's like,
yeah. But I would love to hear from y'all. What is the reason why this is a good twist? Let me know what it is. If it's something that's from the source material or something like that, I don't give a fuck. I'm just curious if there's something here that I'm very blatantly missing. Because as of my perceptions right now, it's unfortunate, but I expected better.
Right. In the first season, it's this is clearly a production issue, right? With the
I wouldn't even compare the two. That's
yeah.
But yeah,
it's so
this is a preferential thing. That was an objectively just
right.
That was an objectively just problematic thing here. This is something where we had a lot of good build up with the first half of the season.
Yep,
and thus we
wonderful.
Kind of started to shift towards taking slime a lot more seriously as an anime, and then we're back here again. So
Yep.
it's the same kind of emotional response. I get you, but it's
Yeah.
it's still something where there's clearly no issues with anything here, production or adaptation wise. I would
Nope.
say this just looks like we're getting a very well animated, very exciting, fun overall animation production here. But the story is making a decision that I just found kind of pointless.
Yep.
But yeah. Hey guys, if you're able to take some disappointed criticism of the anime and not just come at us
Right.
for not liking your theoretically your favorite anime or something like that. Sorry, just I hope you prefer honest reactions rather than
And if this is your favorite anime, I am very curious if there's anyone out there where this is your favorite anime, but you were like, oh yeah, you also didn't like this, and
Sure,
why,
yeah.
and what that kind of how that felt for you, and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with that Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Royal Let's Play on Twitch right now. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.